Welcome back to Coco Gossip, where the truth is never hidden and the tea is always piping hot. We need to talk about what is happening in Flagstaff right now because the reports coming out of Coyote Pass are not just rumors anymore, they are the sound of an empire crumbling to dust. We are talking about the final nail in the coffin. We are talking about a betrayal so deep, so ironic, and so devastating that it feels like a Shakespearean tragedy written specifically for reality television. Breaking reports suggest Kody Brown has officially contacted legal counsel regarding a divorce, but the reason why will leave you absolutely speechless. This isn't just about money, this isn't just about personality clashes, this is about Robyn Brown, the loyal wife, allegedly being caught with a member of Christine's new family. Before we dive into this deep investigation, if you want to stay ahead of the Sister Wives curve and get the updates the network is terrified to air, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to Coco Gossip right now. You do not want to miss a second of this breakdown. Now let's set the scene. To understand the explosion, we have to understand the pressure cooker. We take you inside the McMansion on the hill. For months, the atmosphere in Flagstaff has been described by insiders as suffocating. We know the show paints a picture, but the reality behind those closed doors is far darker. Picture the Shira Chateau. It was supposed to be the prize. It was supposed to be the home where Kody and Robyn lived out there happily ever after while the other wives looked on in envy. But reports indicate that the house has become a prison. The financial pressure is mounting, the paintings on the walls, those expensive investments Kody poured thousands into, are staring back at them like silent judges. With Meri gone, with Janelle gone, and with Christine thriving, the family pot is dry. Kody Brown is a man who thrives on control, and for the first time in 30 years, he has absolutely none. Sources close to the family suggest that Kody has been spiraling into a deep paranoia. He spends his days pacing the property, looking out over the barren land of Coyote Pass, a physical representation of his failed dreams. He feels victimized. In his mind, he did everything right. He led the family, he made the sacrifices, he demanded loyalty, and one by one they betrayed him. He plays the tapes over and over in his head. He remembers the fights with Christine, how he told her she wasn't being a good sister wife. He remembers the standoff with Janelle, demanding she choose him over her children. In Kody's twisted narrative, he is the martyr. He is the patriarch who was crucified by disobedient women. And the only person, the single solitary soul who stood by him through the fire was Robyn. Robyn was the sanctuary. Robyn was obedient. When the world turned against him, when the audience turned against him, he could always retreat to Robyn's side of the bed. She was the one who spoke to Kody. She was the one who translated his anger into pain. She was the only one he trusted. And that trust became his entire world. He isolated himself with her, cutting off the outside world, believing that as long as he had Robyn, he had won. He had proven the others wrong. But what Kody didn't realize is that isolation breeds contempt. When you are the only two people left on the island, you eventually start looking for a boat to escape. While Kody was stewing in his misery, obsessing over the past, a stark contrast was happening just a state away in Utah. We have to talk about the glow-up of the century, Christine Brown, the basement wife, the one Kody called unappealing. She wasn't just surviving, she was thriving. She found David Woolley, and this is crucial to the story. David Woolley is everything Kody Brown pretends to be. David is a man who doesn't need to demand respect because he commands it naturally. He is protective. He is secure. He doesn't need a camera crew to validate his masculinity. Christine is glowing, lighter, and free, and every photo posted, every smile shared was a dagger in Kody's ego. But little did Kody know, the threat from David Woolley wasn't just about jealousy. It wasn't just about Christine being happy. The threat was much closer to home. The threat was about to walk through Kody's front door. Let's go back to Flagstaff. While Kody was distracted by his own victimization, insiders claim Robyn's behavior began to shift. It started subtly. The woman who was known for being the damsel in distress, the woman who needed Kody to do everything, suddenly became very independent. We started hearing reports of frequent business trips. Allegedly, Robyn was traveling back and forth to Utah, supposedly to revive my sister wife's closet. She told Kody she was hustling. She told him she was trying to bring in money to save the family since the other incomes were gone. Kody, in his arrogance, believed her. He saw it as the ultimate act of loyalty. "Look at my wife, Bo," he probably thought, working hard to save us. But the behavior at home was changing too. Robyn was glued to her phone, not in the usual way of checking social media comments, but guarding it, taking calls in the driveway, smiling at screens in a way she hadn't smiled at Kody in years. Kody, however, was too self-absorbed to notice. He was too busy fighting ghosts of his past marriages to see the ghost in his current one. He assumed she was stressed. He assumed she was fighting for him. He never stopped to think that maybe, just maybe, the woman who entered the family by shaking up a marriage might be looking for an exit strategy now that the ship was sinking. And this brings us to the moment the universe decided to play its hand. The concept of karma is a recurring theme in the Sister Wives saga, but what was about to happen is what we call poetic justice. Let's shift our perspective to David Woolley. Up in Utah, living his life, loving Christine, David is a man of family. He has a wide network. And like any close-knit family, people talk. The rumor mill suggests that David has a cousin. Let's call him Robert for the sake of this story. Robert is a good guy, a bit rough around the edges, maybe a bit of a wanderer, but family nonetheless. Robert had been seeing a woman he met online, a woman who claimed she was in a complicated, unhappy marriage with an angry, volatile man. She told Robert she was looking for an escape. She told him she needed a soft place to land. David, being the protective family man he is, catches wind of this. He's happy for his cousin. He asks to see a picture of this mystery woman who has captured his cousin's heart. Robert pulls out his phone. He scrolls through the gallery. He pulls up a photo of them together, maybe at a restaurant, maybe in a park. David looks at the phone. He blinks. He looks closer. The blood drains from his face. He knows that face. He knows those eyebrows. He knows that frown, even when it's trying to smile. It's Robyn Brown. Imagine the conflict in David Woolley's mind at that exact second. He is holding a grenade. He knows exactly what this means. If he stays silent, he protects his cousin's privacy, but he allows a deception to continue. If he speaks up, he is about to detonate a nuclear bomb in the middle of his wife's ex-husband's life. He knows Kody hates him. He knows Kody thinks he is the villain, but David is a man of code. And there is a code among men, even enemies, about certain things. But more than that, David realizes the sick irony of it all. Robyn Brown, the woman who preached sanctity, the woman who cried about the other wives destroying the family, was allegedly stepping out with a member of Christine's new family. It meant that Christine's world had totally and completely infiltrated Kody's sanctuary. Kody couldn't escape Christine. Her happiness was haunting him, and now her family was allegedly dating his wife. The decision was made. It wasn't about malice, it was about truth. David Woolley picked up the phone, but he didn't call Christine first. He didn't call the tabloids. In a move of absolute alpha energy, he called Kody Brown directly. Now picture Kody. He's in his truck, that white truck we've seen him yell in so many times. He's driving down the dusty road of Coyote Pass, perhaps heading back to the McMansion after a run to the hardware store, trying to fix something broken on the property because he can't afford to hire help anymore. The cabin is filled with the sound of talk radio, or maybe just the silence of his own fuming thoughts. His phone rings. He looks at the display. It's a number he doesn't recognize, or perhaps it's a number he has saved just in case. He answers, expecting a bill collector, or a producer, or maybe a lawyer. "This is Kody," he barks, his voice tight with stress. On the other end, the voice is calm. It's deep, it's steady. "Kody, it's David Woolley." The silence in that truck must have been deafening. Kody's grip on the steering wheel tightens. The audacity, the man who stole Christine. Why is he calling? Is he gloating? Is he rubbing it in? Kody immediately goes on the defensive, ready to hang up, ready to unleash a tirade. But David cuts him off. "Listen to me, man to man. You need to know something, and I'm only telling you this because nobody deserves to be played for a fool like this." Kody freezes. The tone isn't mocking. It's serious. It's almost a pity. And that hurts Kody more than anger. "What are you talking about?" Kody snaps. "My cousin," David says. "He's been seeing a woman for a few months, says she's unhappy, says her husband is a narcissist who lost all his other me's. He showed me her picture today, Kody. It's Robyn." For a second, Kody's brain refuses to process the information. It rejects it like a virus. "You're a liar," Kody spits out. You're a liar and you're trying to destroy my family just like Christine did. Robyn is loyal. She is the only one who is loyal. I sent you the screenshots, David says simply. Check your messages. I'm sorry, Kody. Truly. The line goes dead. Kody pulls the truck over to the side of the road, dust billowing up around the tires. His hands are shaking. He feels nauseous. It's not possible. Robyn serves him. Robyn worships him. Robyn is the victim, just like him. He unlocks his phone. He sees the notification, a series of images. He opens the first one. It's a text thread. The name at the top is My Birdie. Kody stares. That's a nickname. He reads the texts. I can't take his anger anymore. The house feels like a morgue. I need to see you. I need to feel like myself again. He swipes. A selfie. Robyn, looking into the camera, blowing a kiss meant for another man. He swipes again. He talks about loyalty all day, but he doesn't know how to love. You're my escape. The world stops spinning for Kody Brown. It's not just cheating. People cheat. It's the specific nature of this betrayal. It is a complete deconstruction of his reality. For years, he justified his cruelty to Meri, Janelle, and Christine by claiming they were bad sister wives, and that Robyn was the good one. He sacrificed his relationship with his children for her. He broke the hearts of 3 women for her. He financially ruined the family pot for her. And here, in black and white on a glowing screen in a dusty truck, was the proof that the good wife was doing the one thing the bad wives never did. She was looking for a replacement. And the salt in the wound? The man she chums. A relative of David Woolley. It was as if the universe was laughing at him. Christine didn't just leave him and find happiness. Her happiness reached back into his life and stole the one thing he had left. It was a complete invasion. Kody sat there, the sun beating down on the windshield, realizing that the patriarch had no kingdom and his queen was plotting a coup. The drive back up the hill to the McMansion wasn't a drive. It was a march to war. But this wasn't the screaming manic Kody we saw at the knife in the kidneys meeting. This was a cold, terrifying Kody. This was a man who had nothing left to lose. He pulls into the driveway. He sees Robyn's car. He sees the lights on in the house. He knows she is in there probably texting him, probably planning her next business trip. He walks to the door. He doesn't slam it. He opens it quietly. The house is cluttered. Boxes of inventory everywhere. The remnants of a hoarding problem that was disguised as collecting. He hears her in the kitchen. She's humming, as if she hasn't just destroyed his soul. He walks into the kitchen. Robyn turns around, a fake smile plastered on her face. Hey, Kody, you're back early. I was just thinking about... She stops. She sees his face. She sees the phone in his hand. The smile falters. The eyebrows furrow into that familiar look of concern. Kody, what's wrong? You're scaring me. Kody doesn't yell. He holds up the phone. He turns the screen toward her. He displays the photo of her and Robert. Tell me, Kody whispers, his voice trembling with a rage so deep it sounds like grief. Tell me about your business trip. Tell me about loyalty, Robyn. This is the moment where the script flips. Usually Robyn cries. Usually she plays the victim. She spins it. But the evidence is too direct. There is no spinning a selfie with another man. There is no spinning those texts. For the first time in 10 years, the mask slips. The Robyn we see isn't the confused, sobbing sister wife. She goes cold. Her posture changes. She drops the act. I did what I had to do, she says, her voice flat. Kody is stunned. He expected denial. He expected tears. He didn't expect this coldness. What did you have to do? I gave you everything. I gave you a legal marriage. I gave you the house. I gave up my other children for yours. You gave me a broken man, Robyn shouts back. And suddenly the volume is at 10. You think this is a prize, Kody? Look around. We have no money. We have no family. The public hates me because of you. You let them leave. You let Christine walk away and you became a monster. I didn't sign up to be a nursemaid to a bitter old man. I signed up for a family and you destroyed it. The gaslighting is a masterclass. She is taking her infidelity and blaming it on his failure as a husband. She is using his own narrative against him. Kody reels back. I destroyed it. I destroyed it for you. I demanded loyalty from you. And where did that get us? Robyn snaps. I'm lonely, Kody. You're not a husband anymore. You're a roommate who complains about his exes all day. Robert, he listens to me. He doesn't talk about Christine. He doesn't talk about Janelle. He looks at me. He's Christine's family, Kody screams, the veins in his neck bulging. Do you understand what you've done? You're sleeping with the enemy. You've humiliated me. You humiliated yourself, Robyn says, crossing her arms. And if you want to talk about humiliation, let's talk about the fact that I'm the only one left, and even I don't want to be here. The argument that follows is a deconstruction of a decade of manipulation. Kody brings up everything: the adoption, the move to Flagstaff, the COVID rules. He realizes in real time that every rule he made to keep Robyn happy actually drove everyone else away. And now that they are gone, Robyn is bored. She fed off the drama. She needed the other wives to be the villains so she could be the savior. Without the other wives, she is just a wife in a failing marriage. Kody feels a phantom pain in his side, the knife in the kidneys. He realizes the irony. He screamed at Christine for betraying him when she was actually just being honest about her unhappiness. Now he is standing in the kitchen with the wife he championed, and she is the one holding the actual knife. He is now in the position Meri was in during the catfishing scandal. He is a fool. But this is worse. Meri was lonely and found someone online who wasn't real. Robyn was pampered, adored, given everything, and she found someone real, someone connected to the very people Kody despises. He looks at her. He looks at this woman he destroyed his life for, and he feels nothing but disgust. Get out, he says. It's my house, Kody, she says coldly. My name is on the deed. If anyone is leaving, it's you. Go sleep in the trailer. It's what you deserve. Kody Brown, the patriarch, the high priest of his family, grabs a bag. He walks out of the McMansion. He walks out into the cold Flagstaff night. He walks to the RV parked on the land. The RV Janelle bought, the RV he hated. He unlocks the door and sits on the flimsy mattress. He is completely alone. No wives, no children. Just the echoing silence of Coyote Pass and the realization that he has been played. But as Kody sits there plotting his next move, a darkness begins to form in his mind. He is hurt, he is wounded, and a wounded narcissist needs to feed. He can't hurt Robyn right now. She has the upper hand legally. He can't hurt Christine. She is untouchable in her happiness. He needs a target. He needs someone he can break to make himself feel powerful again. His mind drifts to Parowan, to the bed and breakfast, to Meri. Meri has been gone. She has been quiet. She has been worthy up. But Kody knows something. He knows Meri is vulnerable when it comes to hope. And he knows something else. A rumor he heard through the grapevine about who Meri is seeing. If he can't control his own narrative, he is going to destroy hers. He picks up the phone again, but he doesn't dial Meri. He dials the one person who can hurt Meri more than anyone else. He dials Leon. And this, friends, is where the story goes from a breakup to a psychological thriller. Because what Kody is about to do to Meri involves weaponizing her own child against her, all to distract from the fact that his favorite wife just made a fool of him. But little does Kody know, Meri has a secret of her own, blooming in the shadows, a secret that connects to Robyn's past in a way that will leave everyone shocked. But before we get to the twisted phone call and the confrontation at the B&B, I want to hear from you. Do you think Robyn's betrayal is the ultimate karma for Kody? Or do you think this is just another layer of the sister wives manipulation game? Let me know in the comments below. We left Kody Brown sitting in a cold trailer on the edge of Coyote Pass, exiled from his own kingdom, stewing in the realization that his loyal wife Robyn has allegedly betrayed him with a member of Christine's family. The irony is suffocating, but if you think Kody Brown is the type of man to sit quietly and accept defeat, you haven't been watching this show for the last 18 seasons. When a narcissist loses control, they don't reflect. They destroy. And while the fires were burning in Flagstaff, a new story was blooming in the shadows of Parowan, Utah, one that would give Kody the ammunition he needed for one last devastating strike. Let's transport ourselves away from the toxic energy of the McMansion and head north to Lizzie's Heritage Inn. For the first time in years, the energy around Meri Brown is light. Sources tell us that Meri has been undergoing a massive internal transformation. We've seen the Worthy Up campaign, We've seen the selfies, but insiders say the reality is even better. Meri is no longer the woman begging for scraps of affection. She is a business owner, she is a community leader, and, according to exclusive reports dropping right now, she is a woman in love. Enter the mystery man. Let's call him Mark. Insiders describe Mark as the anti-Kody. Where Kody is loud, manic, and needs to be the center of every room, Mark is described as soft-spoken, stoic, and incredibly handy. Witnesses have spotted a man fitting his description at the B&B, not as a guest, but as a partner. He's fixing the porch railing, he's carrying the heavy boxes of inventory, he's listening to Meri when she speaks, actually looking her in the eye instead of looking over her shoulder for a camera crew. For the first time, Meri isn't chasing. She is being cherished. It sounds like a fairy tale ending for the original matriarch, right? But this is the Sister Wives universe, and nothing is ever simple like. There is a twist regarding Mark that is so dark, so complex, it threatens to tear the family apart all over again. We have uncovered information regarding Mark's lineage. It turns out Mark carries a last name that sends shivers down the spine of the Brown family, a name that is synonymous with trauma, fear, and the very beginning of the end for the family culture. Mark is a Jessop. Now, before you panic, let's clarify. The Jessop family in the Intermountain West is massive. Being a Jessop doesn't make you a villain, but in the context of Robyn Brown, that name is radioactive. Robyn's first marriage, the marriage she claims was abusive, the marriage that left her with debt and trauma, was to Jessop. Kody spent years positioning himself as the savior who rescued Robyn from the Jessop evil. He legally adopted her children to scrub that name from their legal documents. To Kody and Robyn, that name is the enemy. So here is the situation. Meri, the woman Kody cast aside, has found happiness with a man who bears the name of Kody's predecessor. It is a psychological minefield. Mark is reportedly a distant cousin of Robyn's ex, a good man with no connection to the drama, but to Kody, nuance doesn't matter. To Kody, this looks like another betrayal. It looks like Meri is intentionally poking the bear. And Robyn? When news reached the McMansion, likely through the family grapevine or social media spies, Robyn didn't just see it as a coincidence. She saw it as an opportunity. Remember, Robyn is currently in the hot seat. She has been caught allegedly texting David Woolley's cousin. She needs a deflection. She needs a new villain. And suddenly, Meri hands her one on a silver platter. Robyn can now point a finger at Parowan and say, Look at what Meri is doing. She is bringing that dangerous energy back into our lives. She doesn't care about my trauma." It is the perfect distraction. But Kody, sitting in that trailer, sees something even darker. He sees a way to hurt Meri. Kody knows he can't hurt Meri directly anymore. He yelled at her on their anniversary, and she didn't care. He told her to move to the B&B, and she flourished. He has no emotional hold on her, but he knows who does. He knows the one person who holds Meri's heart in their hands, Leon. Leon has been living their best life, distancing themselves from the toxic fallout of the show. They have set boundaries. They have protected their peace. But Kody Brown is a father who knows how to push buttons. He knows that Leon is fiercely protective of the family, and specifically, Leon has been protective of Robyn's children in the past. Kody realizes that if he frames Meri's new relationship not as a romance, but as a threat to the family's safety, he can weaponize Leon against Meri. This brings us to the phone call that changed everything. The timeline is blurry, but insiders suggest this conversation happened late at night. Kody, alone in the dark, dialing the number of the child he has barely spoken to in months. He clears his throat, he drops the anger, he puts on the mask of the concerned patriarch. "Leon," Kody says, his voice raspy, sounding like a man on the brink of collapse. "I didn't want to call you with this. I know you want your space, but I'm worried about your mother." Leon, likely guarded, asks what is going on, and this is where Kody plants the poison. He doesn't say, "Meri is dating a nice guy." He says Meri has brought Jessop into the inner circle. She's bringing that family back around the little kids. She's blinded by loneliness, Leon. And she's putting everyone at risk. You know what that family did to Robyn. You know the history. I'm scared for her, and I'm scared for the family. Do you see the manipulation? He uses Leon's morality against them. He frames Meri as reckless and dangerous. He triggers the trauma response regarding the Jessop name. He makes himself look like the watchful protector who is helpless to stop it, forcing Leon to step into the role of the hero. It is emotional triangulation 101. Kody pulls the pin on the grenade, hands it to Leon, and points it toward Parowan. Leon, acting out of genuine concern and love, reportedly drops everything. They drive to the B&B. They need to see this for themselves. They need to protect their mom from what Kody has described as a potential predator. Now, let's set the stage for the heartbreak. The scene at Lizzie's Heritage Inn. It's a beautiful afternoon. The sun is shining on the red brick. Meri is in the kitchen, maybe baking those famous cookies, laughing with Mark. She is lighter than she has been in decades. She hears a car pull up. She looks out the window and sees Leon. Her face lights up. She thinks, "This is it! Leon is coming to surprise me! Leon is coming to meet Mark! My family is finally healing!" She rushes to the door. She hugs Leon, but immediately she feels the tension. Leon is stiff. Leon isn't smiling. The air in the room shifts from warm to frigid. "We need to talk," Leon says. They go into the parlor, the room filled with antiques and history. Mark is there, smiling, ready to be introduced. He extends a hand. "Hi, I'm Mark." Leon doesn't shake it. Leon looks at him, then looks at Meri. "Is it true? Is his name Jessop?" Meri is confused. Her smile falters. "Yes, but—" "How could you?" Leon asks, the pain evident in their voice. "After everything? After what that family represents? Dad called me. He's terrified, Mom. He says you're bringing danger to the door." The name Dad lands like a bomb. Meri realizes instantly what has happened. Kody isn't here, but he is in the room. His shadow is casting darkness over her light. "Leon?" Meri pleads. "Mark is a good man. He's a distant cousin. He has nothing to do with Robyn's ex. Kody is lying to you. He's trying to hurt me." But the seed of doubt Kody planted is a strong weed. Leon is torn. They have heard the horror stories of the Jessops for years. It has been the boogeyman narrative of their childhood. Even if Mark is innocent, the association is triggering. Kody knew this. Kody counted on this. "I can't believe you'd be this reckless," Leon says, echoing Kody's words without realizing it. "You're desperate, Mom. You're just grabbing at anyone who pays you attention, even if it hurts the rest of us." That sentence, that accusation, it breaks Meri. It reinforces every insecurity Kody drilled into her for 30 years. That she is selfish, that she is a victim, that she makes bad decisions. To hear it coming from her child's mouth, the child she stayed in the marriage for, is the ultimate betrayal. Mark, the quiet protector, steps up. "Hey, you don't speak to your mother like that. She's built a life here. She's happy." "You don't get to speak," Leon snaps. "You don't know this family. You don't know the damage." The confrontation ends not with a scream, but with silence. Leon shakes their head, looking at Meri with disappointment. A look Meri has seen on Kody's face 1,000 times. Leon turns and walks out the door. The car starts. The dust settles. Meri is left standing in the parlor of her beautiful, successful inn. She has the money, she has a business, she even has the man. But she is sobbing because Kody Brown, from a trailer 300 miles away, managed to reach out and snap the bond between mother and child. He didn't do it to protect the family. He didn't do it because he cares about safety. He did it because he is miserable, and he cannot stand the idea of the wife he rejected succeeding without him. He needed to prove that Meri is incompetent. He needed to prove that, without his guidance, she puts the family in peril. It is the darkest form of revenge. It is scorched earth. Back at Coyote Pass, Kody puts down the phone. He probably feels a moment of satisfaction. He protected the family. He exerted control. But as night falls over the trailer, the reality sets in. He is still alone. He has pushed Leon further away by using them as a pawn. He has solidified Meri's hatred for him. He has isolated himself even further. And what about Robyn? While Kody was executing his strike on Meri, Robyn was busy securing her own future. Reports indicate that the texts with David Woolley's cousin haven't stopped. In fact, now that Kody is spiraling, now that he is living in the trailer, Robyn is emboldened. She sees the writing on the wall. The show is on its last legs. The money is gone. Kody is unraveling. The loyal wife is preparing to jump ship. This leads us to the final act of our tragedy, the aftermath and the New World Order. We are looking at a total collapse of the Brown family structure. Picture the board. Kody is isolated, assets potentially frozen as divorce proceedings loom. He is the king of nothing. Robyn is legally his wife, but emotionally checked out, allegedly building a life raft with a man who represents Kody's greatest rival. Meri is estranged from her child, battling the ghosts of the past, but finally free from the man who tormented her. Christine and Janelle are on the sidelines, watching the house of cards fall. They aren't laughing, they are relieved. They got out before the roof collapsed. The final image we have from insiders is haunting. A camera crew was spotted on Coyote Pass recently, but they weren't filming a family barbecue. They weren't filming a conversation between wives. They were filming Kody, alone, walking the property lines of the land he never paid off. He was talking to the camera, gesturing wildly at the empty lots. Is he looking for new wives? Is he pitching a spin-off about a bachelor lifestyle? Or is this the footage of a man documenting his own demise? The Coyote Pass dream was supposed to be a compound of love. It is now a barren wasteland of broken promises. The Ides of Flagstaff have come. Kody Brown demanded loyalty above all else, and in the end, his demand for loyalty cost him everyone who actually loved him. He traded 3 women who would have walked through fire for him for one woman who, according to these reports, is currently texting her way out of the marriage. This isn't just a breakup, this is the end of an era. This is the final lesson in what happens when you prioritize ego over empathy. But the story isn't over yet. We are hearing rumors of a potential lawsuit from David Woolley regarding the leaks. We are hearing that Meri is planning a tell-all book that will expose the Jessop reality once and for all. And we will be here to cover every single update. What do you think? Did Kody cross the line by calling Leon? Is Robyn's alleged affair the ultimate karma? And can Meri fix her relationship with her child now that the truth is out? Drop your theories in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. You do not want to miss what comes next on Coco Gossip. But the story doesn't end with a phone call or a breakup. To truly understand the magnitude of this collapse, we have to look at the physical wreckage left behind. We have to talk about the land. We have to talk about Coyote Pass. For 5 years, Coyote Pass has been the main character of this show. It was pitched to us and to the wives as the promised land. Kody stood on that dirt and painted a picture of a compound where everyone would be together. He saw 5 houses. He saw a pond where the grandchildren would swim. He saw a porch where he would sit as an old man surrounded by his legacy. Now let's look at the reality of that land today. It is a graveyard of dreams. Recent drone footage obtained by insiders shows the property is completely stagnant. There are no foundations poured. The pond is, as the fans have pointed out for years, a drainage ditch. The only structure on the property is that trailer, a metal box that represents the transient, unstable nature of Kody's current life. This land is the ultimate metaphor for Kody Brown's leadership. He bought it without a plan. He forced the family to move there before they were ready. He sank their financial future into the dirt, refusing to pay it off, refusing to build, paralyzed by his own indecision and need for control. And now it sits empty, a barren wasteland that cost the family millions of dollars and ultimately their relationships. When Christine left, she left her share of the land. When Janelle left, she fought for her equity but eventually realized her peace was worth more than the dirt. And now, with this divorce from Robyn looming, the land is no longer an asset. It is an anchor. It is dragging Kody down to the bottom of the ocean. We have to analyze the psychology of the patriarch at this moment. Kody Brown spent 18 seasons telling the world that he was the head of the household. He demanded patriarchy. He demanded that the wives conform to his will. But look at the result. Patriarchy, in Kody's definition, wasn't about protection or provision. It was about ego. And ego is a fragile thing. The tragedy of the Ides of Flagstaff is that Kody Brown created his own self-fulfilling prophecy. He was so terrified of losing control that he squeezed the family until it suffocated. He was so afraid of being disrespected that he became disrespectful. He was so obsessed with loyalty that he became blind to love. And now let's talk about the Robyn factor. One last time. If these reports are true and Robyn is indeed planning her exit with a member of the Woolley family, it is the most brutal checkmate in reality TV history. Robyn was the one who fed Kody's ego. She was the one who told him he was right when he was wrong. She was the enabler. For her to be the one to deliver the final blow, it proves that the foundation of their relationship wasn't love. It was a transaction. She gave him obedience. He gave her security. When the security ran out, so did the obedience. So where do we go from here? What is the future of Sister Wives? TLC is in a difficult position. They have a show about a polygamous family where the polygamist has no wives. But insiders suggest the network is pivoting. The cameras are still rolling, but the narrative has shifted. It is no longer a show about sister wives. It is a show about surviving sister wives. We are going to see Christine and David's wedding special, a celebration of genuine love. We are going to see Janelle traveling, living the RV life on her own terms, free from Kody's criticism. We are going to see Meri at the B&B, rebuilding her relationship with Leon on her own timeline away from Kody's toxicity. And Kody, we will see him too, but not as the hero. We will watch the slow, painful documentation of a man alone. We will see him filming in that McMansion, surrounded by boxes of unsold jewelry and paintings he can't sell, ranting to a producer who is only there to capture the meltdown. It is a dark ending, but it is an honest one. Like the David curse wasn't that David Woolley destroyed the family. It's that David Woolley held up a mirror. He showed Christine what a husband should be. He showed the world what a protector looks like. And in that reflection, Kody Brown shrank. As we wrap up this deep dive, I want you to look at the photo on the screen. It's the original cast photo from season 1. Look at their faces. Look at the hope. Now look at the photo from the latest tell-all. The difference isn't just aging, it's the erosion of the soul. Flagstaff was supposed to be their forever home. Instead, it became the site of their destruction. The Ides of Flagstaff have passed, and the empire has fallen. The only question left is, will Kody ever admit he was the problem? Or will he spend the rest of his life on Coyote Pass, shouting at the wind, blaming the ghosts of wives who were smart enough to walk away? This has been a Coco Gossip exclusive deep dive. We have uncovered the texts, the betrayals, and the secret phone calls that the network tried to hide. If you appreciate this level of investigative journalism, if you want the truth that the tabloids are too scared to print, you know what to do. Smash that like button until it breaks. Hit subscribe and turn on all notifications because the divorce filings are public record. And as soon as the ink is dry, we will be the first to break down the assets, the custody battles, and the final payout. Before we get to the final fallout of the divorce, we need to pause the timeline. We need to stop the clock and look at the evidence that has been right in front of our faces for years. To understand why Robyn is allegedly looking for an exit strategy with David Woolley's cousin, and to understand why Kody is spiraling in that trailer, we have to follow the money. And folks, the financial trail of the Brown family isn't just a mess, it is a crime scene. Let's open the Coco Gossip evidence room and conduct a forensic audit of the McMansion. We have to talk about the precious moments investment. This is a theory that insiders have been screaming about for years. When you look at the interior of Kody and Robyn's house, what do you see? You see clutter, but it's not just junk. It's an asset, or at least what Kody thinks are assets. We are talking about the figurines, the prints, the massive geodes, the endless stacks of boxes. Psychologists who specialize in financial infidelity often talk about hoarding wealth in plain sight. The theory is that Kody and Robyn, realizing the show was going to end, started liquidating the family pot, money that belonged to Janelle and Meri, and turning it into physical goods that they could store in the house. Why? Because cash in a bank account can be tracked during a divorce. Cash can be divided by a judge. But a basement full of collectibles, that's harder to value, that's harder to split. But here is where the plan backfired, and this is crucial to Robyn's current betrayal. Kody bought high and is selling low. He bought into the idea that these investments would be appreciated. But the market for these specific collectibles has crashed. So they are sitting in a house worth $1.6 million, filled with another $500,000 of stuff, but they are cash poor. They have no liquidity. This explains the tension. This explains the fighting. Robyn didn't sign up to live in a warehouse of Kody's bad decisions. She signed up for the lifestyle she saw on TV. And now that the money is tied up in ugly art and unsellable jewelry from my sister wife's closet, she is feeling the squeeze. And speaking of my sister wife's closet, Let's dig deeper into that failure because it connects directly to the David Woolley timeline. Reports suggest that Robyn has been trying to revive the brand secretly. Why? Because she needs her own income. For years, she relied on the family pot. She relied on Janelle's 401k. She relied on Meri's LuLaRoe money. But now, Janelle took her money and ran. Meri is keeping her checks. Christine is gone. Kody and Robyn are the only ones left paying the mortgage on that massive property. This is the financial cliff we have been warning you about. And this is why the introduction of David Woolley's cousin is so strategic. We have to look at this not just as a romantic affair, but as a survival tactic. David Woolley is a businessman. He owns a successful construction company. He is solvent. He is stable. If Robyn is truly seeing a member of his family, she isn't just looking for love. She is looking for a lifeline. She is looking for someone who understands assets, someone who can perhaps help her liquidate, or someone who can simply pay the bills without screaming about loyalty every 5 minutes. Now, let's pivot to the psychological profile of Kody Brown during this specific window of time. We need to analyze the red pill influence. Fans have noted for seasons that Kody's language changed. He started using terms like alpha, patriarchy, and submission. This wasn't accidental. This was a man who felt his control slipping, so he sought out internet ideologies that validated his anger. But here is the irony that makes this script so compelling. The manosphere ideology that Kody subscribed to relies on the idea that a high-value man commands respect. But in his pursuit of being an alpha, Kody became a laughingstock. And no one realized this faster than Robyn. Robyn is a survivor. We have to give her credit for that. She survived her first marriage. She survived the integration into the Brown family. She survived the public hate. She is incredibly perceptive. She watched Kody transform from a goofy golden retriever dad into a bitter, angry radical. And she realized that this new Kody was bad for business. He was bad for the brand. This is where the David Woolley envy kicks in. Kody has been obsessed with David since the moment Christine announced him. He called him a hero. He mocked Christine's attraction to him. Why? Because David represents the effortless masculinity Kody tries so hard to perform. David wears t-shirts, Kody wears gloves to drive a truck. David builds things, Kody moves logs from one pile to another. The psychological impact of Christine finding David cannot be overstated. It shattered Kody's reality. He truly believed Christine would be miserable without him. He believed she would be the leftover woman. Instead, she became the Queen of Utah. And this, my friends, is what ultimately broke Robyn's loyalty. Women like Robyn want to be with the winner. It's a harsh truth, but it's the reality of their dynamic. For a decade, Kody was the winner. He was the star of the show. He was the center of attention. But in the last 2 years, the audience turned. The money stopped flowing. The respect vanished. Kody became the loser of his own story. And Robyn, she doesn't stick with losers. Let's look at the clues from the last season. Remember the scene on the porch when Robyn was crying about wanting to sit there with her sister wives? Watch her eyes. She isn't crying because she misses Meri or Janelle. She is crying because she realizes the infrastructure of her life is gone. She is crying because she realizes she is now stuck alone with Kody 24/7. That wasn't grief, that was panic. And that panic led her to make a move. The alleged texts to David's cousin are a manifestation of that panic. She is reaching out to the winning team. The Woolley family is winning. They are happy, they are popular, they are united. By aligning herself with that family, even secretly, Robyn is trying to jump from the sinking Titanic to the rescue boat. Now, I want to address a theory that has been circulating in our private Discord server. The mole theory. Is it possible that Robyn isn't just cheating? Is it possible she is leaking information to David Woolley intentionally? Think about it. How did we find out about sacred loneliness? How did we find out about the ring Kody melted down? These are intimate details. Kody isn't telling the tabloids. The other wives aren't in the house. The leak is coming from inside the McMansion. If Robyn is feeding info to the Woolley camp, it explains why David knew to call Kody. It explains why the timeline is so precise. It suggests that this isn't just an affair, it's a dismantling. Robyn is dismantling Kody Brown piece by piece, exposing his secrets, humiliating him publicly, perhaps to garner sympathy for herself when she finally files for divorce. She wants the narrative to be, I tried, I stayed, But he was crazy, and I had to leave for my safety. She is setting the stage for her victim era. And Kody, in his arrogance, is playing right into her hands. He is screaming at Leon. He is isolating himself. He is acting exactly like the monster she needs him to be to justify her exit. This brings us back to Meri. Poor loyal Meri. Why is she the collateral damage in this war between Kody and Robyn? Because she is the only easy target left. We need to analyze the barn dominium conversation. Remember when Kody told Meri she could live in the loft of his barn? That was the moment the mask fell off completely. He didn't see her as a wife. He saw her as a utility, a source of income that he could store in the garage like his old sports car. But Meri's revenge glow-up with the Jessop cousin is fascinating because it breaks the cycle of abuse. For 30 years, Meri was told that the Jessop way was bad and the Brown way was good. By dating a man with that name who treats her well, she is proving that the evil wasn't in the lineage. It was in the man she married. It is a reclaiming of her past. However, Kody's manipulation of Leon is a strategic masterstroke of cruelty. We have to understand the bond between Meri and Leon. It has been rocky. They struggled through the catfishing. They struggled through Leon's transition. They fought hard to get to a good place. Kody knows this is the weak point in the armor. By invoking the safety of the family, Kody is using a cult tactic. In high-control groups, outsiders are always framed as dangerous. The world is scary. The family is safe. Even though the family is toxic, it is familiar. By painting Meri's new boyfriend as an outsider with a dangerous name, Kody is trying to trigger Leon's cult programming. He is trying to pull Leon back into the us versus them mindset. It is a desperate play. It shows that Kody is terrified of losing his grip on the narrative. If Meri is happy, if Christine is happy, if Janelle is happy, then Kody is the problem, and Kody cannot survive in a world where he is the problem. So, as we look at the wreckage of the family, the empty land, the silent phones, the secret texts, we have to ask ourselves, was this always the plan? Did Robyn enter the family to destroy it? Or did the family destroy her? My theory, it's a bit of both. The system of polygamy was a dry forest waiting for a spark. Kody was the wind, and Robyn was the match. But the fire is burning out now, and all that is left is the ash. Now, let's go back to the timeline. Let's go back to the moment Kody is sitting in that trailer after the phone call with Leon, realizing that his manipulation might not have worked the way he planned. Because reports are coming in that Leon didn't just leave Meri's house and go silent. Leon made a phone call of their own. A phone call that would bring the other wives back into the fold for one final stand. Leon sat in their car, hands gripping the steering wheel, dust from the parched Utah earth settling on the windshield. Kody's voice was still ringing in their ears, the warnings, the fear, the manipulation. But something didn't sit right. Leon has always been the analytical one, the one who sees patterns. And the pattern of Kody's hysteria felt too convenient. So Leon didn't call Kody back. They didn't call Meri. Leon picked up the phone and dialed the one person in the family who has never lied to them. The one person who has no reason to protect Kody's ego anymore. Leon called Christine. "Aunt Christine," Leon reportedly said, voice shaking. "Dad called. He said Mom is in danger. He said she's with Jessop and it's a threat to the family. I just left her house. I was so angry." On the other end of the line, in her bright, happy kitchen in Utah, Christine Brown went silent. She knew about Kody's spiral. She knew about the David Woolley bomb that had just dropped in Flagstaff. And she realized in that split second that Kody was using Leon as a shield to deflect from his own humiliation. "Leon," Christine said, her voice soft but firm, the voice of a mother who has seen too much. "Listen to me carefully. Your father is not protecting your mother. He is distracting you. He is lashing out because his own house is on fire." "What do you mean?" Leon asked. And then, the floodgates opened. Christine told Leon the truth, not the sister wives version, but the raw, unfiltered reality. She told Leon about the rumors regarding Robyn. She told Leon that David's cousin had come forward. She explained that Kody wasn't scared for Meri's safety. He was scared of his own irrelevance. He was sitting in a trailer, cast out by his favorite wife, and he couldn't stand that Meri, the wife he discarded, was building a life with a man who treated her well, regardless of his last name. "Mark is a good man, Leon," Christine assured them. David knows the family. It's not the past coming back to haunt us. It's your dad using the past to haunt you. The silence in the car was heavy. The realization hit Leon like a physical blow. The anger they felt toward Meri evaporated, replaced by a cold, sharp fury toward Kody. He had done it again. He had weaponized their trauma to score a point in a game only he was playing. Leon hung up the phone. They didn't drive back to the B&B immediately. They needed time. But the damage Kody hoped to cause, the permanent severance of the mother-child bond, failed. Because truth, in the end, is the antidote to narcissism. Kody's web of lies was strong, but the network of the OG3, Christine, Janelle, and Meri, and their children was stronger. He had unknowingly united them against him one last time. Back in Flagstaff, the atmosphere at the McMansion was shifting from tense to terminal. While Kody was plotting in his trailer, insiders report that moving trucks were spotted at the bottom of the hill. Not the frantic, chaotic packing of the move from Las Vegas, but a professional, calculated operation. Robyn Brown was making her move. If the theories are correct, and if the texts to David's cousin are real, Robyn isn't leaving with nothing. She is the legal wife. She controls the assets. She is reportedly liquidating the investments. The art, the jewelry, the statues. Boxes were being loaded. She wasn't fleeing in the night. She was extracting her equity. She was taking the return on investment for the 10 years she spent managing Kody's emotions. Kody, watching from the window of his RV, must have felt the crushing weight of karma. He had watched 3 wives pack up and leave. He had stood by the truck while Christine loaded her snowblowers. He had argued with Janelle about her trailer. He had watched Meri drive away to the B&B. But this, watching the She-Ra chateau being emptied, this was the dismantling of his ego. Every box that went into that truck was a piece of his identity leaving. He wasn't the patriarch anymore. He was just a man watching a woman leave him, not because she couldn't handle the lifestyle, but because she simply didn't want him anymore. The irony is absolute. Kody feared poverty, so he hoarded. His hoarding caused the financial stress that broke the marriage. Kody feared being controlled by women, so he tried to control them. His control drove them away, leaving him with no control at all. Kody feared being alone, and now he is the loneliest man in Arizona. As the sun sets over Coyote Pass, casting long purple shadows over the weeds and the prairie dog holes, we have to look at the legacy of this family. We have to look at what remains, the one-house idea, the dream of the big porch. It's all gone. Coyote Pass isn't a home. It's a monument to hubris. It's a piece of land that destroyed a family. It sits there undeveloped, unpaid, and unloved. A physical representation of Kody's inability to commit, to build, or to finish what he started. But amidst the wreckage, there is hope. Not for Kody, perhaps, but for the women. Christine is married, glowing, traveling the world, loved by a man who sees her value. Janelle is free, independent, financially recovering, and surrounded by children who adore her. Meri is in Parowan, likely sitting on that porch right now with Mark, realizing that she is worthy of love, and that her worth was never tied to Kody's approval. And Robyn, she is surviving. She played the game, she won the prizes, and now she is cashing out. She may be the villain in the eyes of the public, but in her own story, she is finally escaping the monster she helped create. And Kody? The final image we have is a report of Kody Brown spotted at a local Flagstaff bar. Alone. Staring at his phone, perhaps he is looking at old photos, perhaps he is reading the comments on social media. Or perhaps, for the first time in his life, he is sitting in silence and realizing that the enemy wasn't the world. It wasn't the tabloids. It wasn't the bad sister wives. The enemy was in the mirror. The Ides of Flagstaff have come and gone. The empire has fallen. The king is in exile. And the queens have built their own castles far, far away. This has been the definitive deep dive investigation into the collapse of the Brown family dynasty. We have uncovered the secrets, we have connected the dots, and we have exposed the truth behind the headlines. If you have been with us on this journey, if you have felt the shock and the vindication, then you are part of the Coco Gossip family. Do not let this story end here. The fallout is just beginning, the legal battles are coming, the tell-all books are being written, and we will be here for every single revelation. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you have hit that notification bell, Because in the world of sister wives, the truth is always stranger than fiction. And the gossip never sleeps. I'm Coco, and this has been the end of an era. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.